Hello, YouTube. Thanks for clicking on the pretty thumbnail. In this video, I'm going to show you 8 great automations to help protect your home. My name's Jeff. Welcome to my channel. I'm an IT nerd that is constantly in search of ways to make my smart house even smarter. If that sounds like your kind of thing, come with me on my journey by clicking on that subscribe button and ringing the little bell. You'll need to do that for the giveaway anyhow, but more info on that at the end of the video. Let's get into it. First on our list, water leak alerts, water damage. It's everyone's biggest nightmare. From structural damage to destroying your belongings to potential mold issues, the average insurance claim for water damage is over $11,000. Early warning systems can help mitigate that. So I put water leak sensors all over the place and configured automations to fire if any of them got wet. Both my wife and I will get push notifications to our phones, and all the Google Nest devices in the house will announce that there's a water leak, as well as exactly which sensor is wet. I'm working on some RGB LED strip installs here in the near future, so I'll turn those red for any critical notifications as well. Number 2, temperature alerts. Now, we live in the northern US and we have pets. We also like to travel and visit friends, so it's not uncommon that we're several hours away from home on any given weekend. Temperature alerts are a great way to make sure everything is working correctly. I configured 2 alerts, one for high temp and one for low temp. So if any sensor in the house gets above 85 or below 55, push notifications get sent to both me and my wife's phones. The thought being that if the temp falls below 55, the furnace is likely broken, so I need to get that taken care of before the temperature drops further and a pipe freezes and bursts, which will trigger the previous automation. That would be bad. On the other side, if the temp gets above 85, either the AC is broken or there's a fire. Either way, I'll need to get home ASAP and deal with these situations. Number 3, exterior floodlights and person detection. In the previous video, I discussed how I light up the exterior of my house automatically at sunset. In addition to the landscape lighting, I've got a lot of floodlights under the eaves that cover the entire property. These have 300 watt LED bulbs in them, so they're quite bright. I don't want them on all the time, mostly because my neighbors will get mad, but they're a great deterrent for prowlers. Rather than just have them on a motion sensor, which would constantly be triggered by deer and other animals, I'm leveraging my security cameras. Between regular IP cameras and doorbells, I've got a good number of security cameras that cover the property. I feed these then into Blue Iris, which then leverages DeepStack for AI object detection. I have it configured to send alerts to HA when a person is detected. Then, I wrote an automation to flip on all the exterior lights when a person is detected after dark, and then turn it back off after a period of time with no motion. Any additional person notifications during that time though will reset that timer. Number 4, the garage lights again. So my garage has a service door on the front and another one on the back. In following the same logic as the previous automation, the lighting in the garage is very bright. I put a contact sensor on each one of those service doors, and if either one of them get opened, the interior garage lights automatically turn on. Not only is this useful as a deterrent against people who are up to no good and would obviously prefer not to be lit up like daylight, but it's also quite helpful for me when I use one of those doors. One less switch to flip. Number 5, front foyer lighting. Using another contact sensor, I've configured an automation to automatically turn on the front eaves lights as well as the front foyer lights and the staircase chandelier anytime the front door is opened after dark. This automation serves multiple purposes. If it's us using the door, we're greeted to a well-lit entrance so that nobody fumbles about and trips on a pair of shoes. If it's somebody breaking in, they're not going to be too excited when the entire entrance lights up like daytime, assuming they even somehow made it that far because all the exterior floodlights would be on by the time they reached the door. The other way it's useful is if someone rings the doorbell after dark, all the interior lights will come on automatically when we open the door to greet the guest. Number 6, automatic firewall port forwarding. Physical security isn't the only kind of security. If you use port forwarding on your firewall to allow any traffic into your network for Home Assistant or Plex or anything else, the first question you should ask yourself is, should I be allowing access to these systems when everyone is at home? If the answer to that is no, then you should automate your firewall rules. I did this using network device trackers, which we covered in a previous video. When everyone's home, the firewall rules are all disabled. When somebody leaves, the firewall automatically allows traffic to the Home Assistant server so that we can track location and fire automations based on zones. I'll go into much greater detail on that in a future video where we can really get into some of the technical nitty-gritty on how I did that. Number 7, panic button. You got your lights automated. You got speakers all over, whether they're Google or She Who Shan't Be Named, or even just Chromecast devices like your television. You've basically got your entire house connected to Home Assistant. So when you hear a bump in the night, what do? Are you gonna get up with a flashlight and a baseball bat and go looking for the source of the noise? Are you gonna flip on the lights room by room as you go? Sure, all that sounds great, but what happens if you're not home and there's a noise in the night? These little Aqara buttons are great. One press turns the nightstand lamp on or off. Long press them, however, and every light in the house turns on, as well as notifications are automatically sent to all of our mobile devices that somebody pressed the panic button. Some other great ideas would be to flash the exterior lights on and off, or play sirens on your speakers, or have your speakers announce that you've called the police, or use your imagination. Number 8, guest Wi-Fi password change and a QR code. So along those same lines as the automated firewall, I wanted to automate changing my guest Wi-Fi password. There are a lot of reasons why this is a really good idea, but honestly, my primary motivation was making sure that any neighbors that had been over visiting and had gotten on my guest Wi-Fi network weren't still accidentally connected when they left. Since I work from home, I want to be able to make sure that no one is siphoning off any of my bandwidth playing video games or streaming movies or whatever. So I wrote an automation that automatically generates a long string of random characters every night for my guest Wi-Fi password. In order to make sure that it's easy for guests to still use the guest Wi-Fi network, a QR code is generated every night, and then guests can just scan that code from the tablet on the kitchen wall, and they're off to the races. Pro tip, don't put that tablet anywhere that it can easily be seen through a window, or would-be hackers can just scan the QR code from outside and get on your network. Now, my automations are constantly evolving and changing as I add additional sensors to my house and more things get connected. So I'll have to revisit these past few videos at some point to update you guys on what changes and improvements have been made. It'll be interesting to look back on these past few videos a year or two from now and see the differences. What kind of security-minded automations do you have in place at your house? Tell me about them in the comments. I'm in the beginning stages of building a home alarm system right now using Home Assistant, so I can use all the ideas that I can get. These past few videos have covered over 20 different automations that I have set up at my house. I do plan to cover the nitty-gritty technical details of how to set all of them up, but I'm open to suggestion about what order I make those videos in. If there's one that you're really excited to get more details about, please let me know in the comments so that I can move it to the top of the list. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, or if you found it informative, or if you like my DIY haircut, or you find my t-shirts funny, or if you're just a really nice person that wants to support the channel, please do me a favor and give that like button a flick. That tells the YouTube algorithm that this video didn't suck and it should be shown to more people. Thank you so much for your support. It really does mean a lot to me. Now, on to the giveaway. As of now, when I'm recording this video, the channel has not yet reached 1,000 subscribers. When it does reach 1,000 subscribers, I've got a very special prize that I'm going to give away to celebrate that milestone. No, I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's going to be awesome and you are going to want it. To enter, you need to subscribe to the channel. I mean, you do want to be notified when I post a video announcing the winner, right? What if it's you and you never see the video? Subscribe, man. All right, next, you need to comment on the very first video on this channel, the one about how to install Home Assistant on Windows 10, because when the channel does reach 1,000 subscribers, that's how I'm going to pick the winner. I'm going to scroll through the comments on that video and randomly pick someone. I will announce that winner in a video, and they'll need to comment on the video with their email address so that I can get a hold of them and get that prize shipped out to them. There's only one rule. You need to be in the continental United States. Shipping costs, export laws, yada, yada, yada. I'm an IT nerd, not a logistics expert, so my contest, my rules, sorry. As always, thank you so much for watching. Your support really does mean a lot to me. I hope that you found this video informative. I hope that you found it entertaining. And I hope that you got some great ideas on ways to use smart home tech to improve your life. Don't forget to tell me in the comments which one of these automations you want to see more details about so I can shuffle that video to the top of the to-do pile. Until next time, go automate something, will ya?